guys, Merry Christmas! It has been a long time. I didn't expect to go from August and until Christmas before I started making videos again, but here we are. I am making a speed build. Well, I've made a speed build when you're seeing it. I'm making it right now as I'm speaking. And it might be the start of making videos again, hopefully, if things go my way. But things have not been going my way. I'll get into that when we start. But things have not been going my way that much. Right, so just a quick word about the build. I decided 2 days ago, after midnight, I was watching a little Simpsons video before going to bed. Well, actually, I was kind of in bed because I sleep on the sofa right now. I was watching a little Simpsons video, I think, and she was building a house, and I just decided, you know what, I want to build something. I want to build something. And since I haven't been like able almost to build anything for months and months and months because I've been so stressed, I thought, you know what, even though it's the middle of the night and I should be going to bed, I am going to honor this wish in myself. I got a bit grand. I'm gonna just go and build. I'm gonna go and build. So I did. I based the house, the shape of the house, on a house that I drive by when I go to the dentist. More about that later. But I based the shape of the house on that house. It's not exactly the same because it would be a bit strange to make an exact replica of a stranger's house. I don't think that's quite allowed. It's kind of an unspoken rule of Sims that you don't dox other people. But it is based roughly on that house, and I think it turned out pretty nice. It's a nice shape of house. It's not something I usually do. So fun making something different. But the idea for the house, for the build, was Christmas, because it is the 4th of December. It was the 2nd of December when I was building it, which is Christmas, finally. And I just wanted to decorate the house, because I'm currently decorating my house, but for a multitude of reasons, it's not going quite how I expected it to or wanted it to. But I thought I could decorate this house, because a while ago we got this little free DLC pack for The Sims that was called like Holiday something or other, and it had a lot of Christmas decorations, like those little wreaths that I had on the fence. Little trees with the lights in them, a lot of Christmas trees, some nutcrackers. Like, not a ton, so I do reuse a lot of it, like, again and again throughout the build, but there was a few things. And also in Parenthood, there were a few things that I also used. So it was a lot of fun decorating the house. It was very fiddly. Like, the thing I'm doing right now was very fiddly, but it was still fun. So, and I really enjoyed the result. The result was really cute. Really cute. I did actually record this speed build, this voiceover for this speed build just like 20 minutes ago, but then I had made a mistake while I was editing, and I had accidentally exported a 4-hour video when what I wanted to do was export a 20-minute video. I was curious. I was curious last night why it said it was going to take 3 hours to export. But I thought, well, it was, I guess that's just how it is. Maybe my computer's a bit full or something, even though it's not. There's like 500 gigabytes of free space, but I didn't think that much of it, so I just left it to do its thing, and then I put an alarm on and just got up and turned my computer off after I'd gone to bed, which was a bit annoying. But there you are. I didn't want to leave it off through the night because I'm terrified of fire. But turns out what I've done was mark both of the sections I wanted to speed up for the speed build and speed both of them up, but I forgot that when you do that, you leave a giant gap between the first bit and the second bit, and I didn't delete that gap, so what ended up happening was the speed build and then like a 3-hour section of video, and then the last little tiny bit. So that was a 3-hour section of blank, like nothing. So that was a bit annoying, because I did the speed build earlier and it didn't go super well, but I was gonna kind of just roll with it. But yeah, that kind of messed it all up. So then I had to export it again, and now I'm recording it again. But hopefully I'm gonna do a better job, because I am rusty on this kind of thing. I was a bit nervous. I was a bit couldn't quite get my words out. So I'm a lot better at that. I'm a lot better at that now. Yeah. No, I'm hoping this is going to be better. But anyway, I'm going to give you a rundown of what's been happening since I last updated you, because I think I updated you sometime around the end, no, not the end of November, but like middle of November or something like that, or maybe early November. I don't quite know. But since then, I have moved. I am in my new house right now. I'm sitting in my new computer room. I have set up my green screen like last night and my microphone and everything. It was very last minute last night. It was already very late. I think I got to bed like 2 last night. But on the day that I made the house, I don't think I was in bed until 4. So, improvement. But yeah, I am in my new house and it's great. And I have painted the living room, which is awesome. But it's been a process and a lot of things have been happening. So I'll start at the very beginning. Moving week. It took about a week to move all of the things because me and my brother were kind of moving at the same time and we're switching houses, so we just kind of lugged everything back and forth, and it took a while, it took a long while, and it was very, very, very exhausting because I burnt my foot. I got 2nd degree burns on my foot and it was very painful. It was very painful. There were open sores and blisters and it was just disgusting. And that hurt a lot, and especially putting my shoes on and taking my shoes off hurt a lot. And when you're moving and you're carrying stuff in and out of houses and stuff and so on, there's a lot of taking your shoes off and putting your shoes back on. A lot. Oh, okay, jaw pain. We're getting to that. Oh, that hurt. So that was not fun, having 2nd degree burns on my foot when I was taking my shoes off 50 times a day. Not fun. But I got through it. I got moved, and then after I'd moved, I think I moved in on Friday, and then on Monday, I decided that I had to call the dentist and have my wisdom tooth pulled because I've been experiencing a lot of jaw pain for a very long time and I'm sick of it, and it just got really, really bad as we were moving and stuff was happening. So I thought, you know what, we'll have the wisdom tooth out, because last time I pulled the wisdom tooth at the top of my jaw, that did help the jaw pain a little bit in that area. So I figured if I pull the tooth in the lower jaw area, that will also help the jaw pain. And even if it doesn't, I don't need the wisdom tooth. Like, it's not for anything, it's only going to create complications for me later in life. Just get rid of it. So that's what I did. I said to the dentist, just yank it out. And I went back like a couple of days after, I think. No, a week later, I think. I went back and they did pull the wisdom tooth, and it was really, 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 really stuck in there. It was stuck fast. Can you say that? Stuck fast? I'm not sure. I think you can, but it's a bit weird. But anyway, it was really, really stuck in there. So she used tongs, she used a screwdriver, at least it looked very much like a screwdriver, and she was like wriggling my tooth with the screwdriver. She was clumping on it with the tongs and like pulling my head from side to side. It was very violent. Like, I had a lot of anesthetic, but not in the jaw, and it was very much. It was a much. But it wasn't too bad. Like, the actual pulling of the tooth wasn't the... Stop fiddling with your hair. The actual pulling of the tooth wasn't the worst bit. Foreshadowing. So I got home. It wasn't too bad. And then on day 2, it was too bad. It was really bad. Pain just got really, really bad. But I figured, the sedatives have left me. I have been abandoned by the sedatives. So that is probably why it is insanely painful. It's probably not dangerous or anything. Just, this is just probably what it is. I couldn't move my lower jaw almost at all. Talking was excruciating. Eating was just new. So I had some soup. Like, I just tipped the spoon close to my mouth and was like... And that was probably not good either. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have been doing sucking motions and like using a straw for drinking, even though that felt a lot nicer than actually opening my mouth and tipping something in, because that was really painful. So I probably shouldn't have been using a straw, because what ended up happening was that I developed something called dry socket. And if you're thinking, ew, gross, then yeah, it is. It is really gross. It is when the little flap of skin that's supposed to like protect your open wound after the tooth has been extracted, that fails to do its job, and you're left with just an open hole down to the jawbone. So you have exposed bone, and exposed bone is not good. It's painful. Exposed bone is bad. And I got an infection, and since it was exposed all the way down to the bone, the infection spread to the bone. So I had a bone infection, which is also not good. So I was put on heavy antibiotics. I had a fever, really high fever. I just felt like absolute crap. I felt so sick. So sick. It was really not fun at all. And like I had so much to do. I just moved into a new house and it was like closing in on December. I wanted everything finished by December. Spoiler alert, it's not finished. It was not fun. I was really stressed and really sick. But the antibiotics did eventually clear up the infection, so that was great. So I no longer had the dry socket infection problem, but that was not the only problem that I was gonna have, apparently. Spoiler alert! So the next problem was that my jaw was still extremely painful, like even more painful than before I pulled the tooth. It was really bad. And my mum eventually called the dentist because I was whinging so much, because it was so painful. And they took me back in and they looked at it. And what I figured out before I even went there, to be honest, was that there is a piece of bone sticking out the side of the area where the tooth was, like below where the tooth was, there's a bit of bone sticking out. And I thought it was loose because every time I like pushed on it with my tongue or with my finger, and I could feel it very well with my finger, it wasn't the case of like things in your mouth feeling a lot bigger than what they actually are. I don't know if other people have that sensation, but like sometimes I feel like there's a blister on my tongue that feels huge when I touch it with my tongue, and then I touch it with my finger and it's just tiny, and I feel a bit pathetic. But this wasn't the case. This time it was actually quite significant, even when I touched it with my finger, and then pushing it was just so bad. Like, I'm not a little baby when it comes to pain, generally, but it was just really bad. So I went back to the dentist, like I said, and they like tried to look at it. They took an x-ray. It was really hard to figure out what it actually was, and they said it wasn't loose, but they couldn't quite figure out why it was so painful. But what they are suspecting, and what wasn't quite clear on the x-rays, but they think that is the thing, is that it's cracked. Like my jawbone is cracked, and when I push on that piece of bone, it like slightly jiggles, and that is why it's so painful. At least that's what my primary dentist thought. She asked for a second opinion from the rudest dentist in all the land. Just saying. She asked for a second opinion from her, and she came in and she's really rough. Like, she just basically shoved her fist into my mouth to check on it, and she was asking me questions and like not believing me, and she said all these things like, well, she basically called me a baby for like thinking it was painful and stuff, and like saying it was nothing. And then she said, she actually managed to say, well, if it's not painful, then it's not a problem. And both me and my dentist were like, well, the pain's the whole point, she's here. Well, you know, it is painful, that's the whole point. But yeah, so I got really stressed with both of them like towering over me, and her like pulling me and asking all these sort of questions, and she kept trying to put her fingers in my mouth while I was talking, and she got like angry that I almost bit her fingers. But like, you know, don't put your fingers in my mouth while I'm talking. So I got really overwhelmed, and I ended up having a panic attack, which was not fun. Luckily, the mean dentist had left the room, so it was just my dentist there, and she was really nice. She was really calm about it. She had panic attacks herself, so she knew like what it's like, and it was really good, even though it was really bad. But long story short, I am supposed to wait a week. I was supposed to wait a week from when I went to the dentist to see if the tooth like kind of heals itself, like the bone, the jawbone, not the tooth. The jawbone heals itself, and it's like not a problem. But if that isn't the case, then I have to be referred to an oral surgeon, and they'll fix it. So what I'm gonna do, not on Monday, because on Monday I am buying a cabinet at IKEA. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to interrupt here actually, because even though prior to this video my mum had called customer service and asked them about the cabinet, and they did say that it was going to come in on the 6th of December, which was Monday, which is why I was so adamant here that I was going to get it on Monday. We'll see in a little bit. However, on Monday, before making a 1.5 hour drive through heavy snow, I decided to call IKEA and just make sure that they did have the cabinet that they were supposed to have. And they didn't. They did not. And the customer service person said that they would probably never, because it's a bit special. It's a bit special of a colour. Like, it comes in white and a greenish blue. And I wanted, well, bluish green actually. And I wanted the bluish green. And it was not going to come. It's not going to come. So that was fun. Had a bit of a meltdown over that, not going to lie. But she did say that I could call IKEA Central and place an order there and they could deliver it to my house, which is kind of cool. So I did that. Sorry, that was my dad. So I did that instead. So I ordered the cabinet and I ordered a couple of other things. I got to spend a lot of money. So everything's good, except I didn't get to go to IKEA and pick it out myself, which was what I wanted to do. But hey, you know, it's the middle of a pandemic. I'm glad I just got to buy it anyway. So that's it. I'll let you get back to the video now. Bye. That they've ordered a couple of them and they're coming in on Monday. So I'm going to be there and get one of them before they sell out. I don't know why IKEA's started like only ordering like a very few things, but it's really annoying. They have this giant storage and everything I want is always out of stock and they have to order it in. It's really annoying, but at least I'm gonna get that cabinet. I'm gonna have it in my living room. It's really nice. I've been looking at it for ages and I didn't want to buy it because it's so expensive, but then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it because everything I've tried, I've just failed. So that's what I'm doing on Monday. Tuesday, I'm gonna call my dentist and say, you know what, it's still really, really painful. Can we just, you know, do the oral surgery or whatever? I just, because it is still really, really painful. I don't know why I decided to do a whole speed build and like talk for ages, because it's kind of painful talking, but oh well, it's fine. Yeah, so as far as the house goes, I've painted the living room. I have painted a cabinet that my TV sits on. I've painted the table, like the living room table, not the dining room table. I don't have a dining room table at the moment. I have a small table that sits at my old house, my brother's house. I'm gonna go and fetch that, or he's gonna bring it up because it doesn't fit in my car. But I'm gonna get that. It's old, it's ugly, it's like really damaged on the top, but it's okay. I'll just put a tablecloth over it and it'll be fine. At least for, you know, temporary. So that's what I've done with the house. I've also decorated a little bit. I've made a garland. No, I've hung a garland. I didn't make the garland. I've hung a garland on the staircase because I was watching Zoe Sugg, her like Christmas decorations, and it looks so good. And I wanted a garland on my staircase too, and now I have a garland on my staircase and it looks amazing. I am gonna give you a tour of my house once it's like not super messy like it is now. So, you know, eventually I'm gonna give you a tour of the house, but right now it's just a bit of a mess. Downstairs there's another cabinet that I bought on like the Norwegian version of Craigslist, but just like less murdery for now. And I'm painting that in a yellow colour. I was going for mustard yellow, and I went to the paint place, and they didn't have exactly the colour that I wanted on one of the like swatches, so I asked them to mix, and they did. And then when she was finished, when you know she's made the colour, and I can't like decide not to buy it because it's already made. That's how it works there, at least. I'm not sure it works there like that everywhere, but it works like that there. If the colour's mixed, you've bought it. So she opened it and she was like, do you want to see it? And I thought, well, I guess, but like it doesn't really matter because that's the colour I'm getting, regardless. And then she opened the tin and I looked at it and I had to really work really hard to suppress like making faces because I wanted mustard yellow. I didn't want baby diarrhea brown. Like, sorry, that's a bit of a visual, but it was really a disgusting colour, and I thought maybe it would look better on the cabinet. So far no. Hopefully when we've had like the second coat and maybe the third coat on it, and it's gonna look a lot better, and maybe when I put it in the living room it's gonna draw from the other colours and it's gonna look better. But for now it looks a bit bad. So I'm a bit nervous about that. I might have to repaint the cabinet, which is a bit annoying because then it gets all like too much paint. But oh well, it was almost free. It was very, very cheap. So, oh well, now it's snowing over my house. It's lovely. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there actually. Really excited about the snow. Yeah, I just have to interrupt again. Sorry. I know we're very close to the end, but I just have to say that the snow. I don't know if my wishes and my sins making come to life angered the gods or something, because we've had almost 2 meters of snow across, largely across 2 to 3 days, but it's been continuously snowing for about a week, and I have been continuously clearing the snow for about a week. I have a little tiny snowblower, which is very much nicer than having to do it by hand. I would have died if I had to do it by hand, so I'm very glad I have a snowblower, but still very hard work. Like, if this continues, I'm gonna be freaking ripped. Like, seriously. And I started off a noodle. I started off as a weak little noodle. So yanking that giant, well, it's not giant, I just said it was tiny, just sizable, decently sized, I think we can say, snowblower around is heavy. It's heavy. And also having to do it 2 to 3 times every single day. And I have to do it tomorrow morning as well. Just, but oh well. I'll let you go back to the end of the video, but I do have to go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the speed build. I really enjoyed making another speed build. I do really enjoy talking to you. It's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!